as schooled by COVID 19, shifting paradigms. Because I felt right from the start, this has to happen for a reason. And I spent a lot of time gathering silver linings, or what we call the lessons that we are supposed to learn from this extraordinary and unprecedented happening or event or vicissitude in our life. Today, I would like to focus a little bit on something that kind of is a bit of a bother to me. We have been speaking a lot about contagion, we're so scared that we'll be contaminated. We are so scared to be infected. And the contagion of COVID 19 is, over the top. It's hitting the roof all the time. And we know that there's no one who is exempted from being infected. In fact, little do we know that we may already have what they call the asymptomatic, like symptoms are there, but we don't notice it. But we already had been infected somehow. But we only have a very powerful and maybe like a strong immune system that still could cope with this particular infection. But what I'm also calling attention to is a lot of contagion in the way that we actually behave or think or feel. Or should I begin the same? In the way we think, we feel, and therefore we behave. And this can be on two parts. It could be the negative, it could also be the positive. Right now, what I was trying to say at the beginning, and I spoke about this already in passing the other time, is what is happening here in the US. I'm sure you have read about the Floyd case, and now the repercussion all around the country, and how it has turned into almost like a scary reverberation, or it's like this domino effect has really opened up Pandora's box again. And I was so sad. I was watching, I couldn't even stand it. I had to close it because of the lawlessness, the looting, the violence, the aggression, and really the anarchy that they call. But at the same time, when I look at other parts, I also see that there is a very strong movement towards solidarity of the quiet campaign or even demonstration or even protesting against what has been an unjust situation or behavior. And people do this peacefully, pained but peacefully. And so I was taken aback when I saw that so many times we just see the highlighted negative, contagion of what may be, happening around. And we don't actually pay so much more attention to those that are good. So when I was watching how even policemen were actually joining protesters, or the other side of it, when protesters themselves were trying to protect police officers who had been somehow, segregated from the rest of their troops, then I really see that we could actually be contagious and be infectious, whether it's a positive way or in a negative way, and it's a choice we make. Right now, we know that we can fend for ourselves because we have already learned somehow in the last 3 months how to shield ourselves from the physical or the infection of the virus. And that seems to be almost, for most at least of us already, it's been part of our daily practice. It could become second nature. But there's a different contagion that I'd like to really focus a little bit more. And this is when people do good. Right away, there is an invitation to also do good. So when we behold our frontliners really giving their lives and putting their lives on the line, and giving until it really hurts, and it's even causing so many of them really death, their own lives. Wow. I hope that the contagion there is really to be able to be more compassionate, more of giving, and really like begin to be merciful, helpful, kind, loving, caring. And we see this around. I'm so touched when I see how people give to one another, how out of the lack that they may be experiencing, even among our poor kabarangays, over there, they would share. And that's so touching. And I'm sure we are being marked with this, that it doesn't take so much for us to be able to be generous and kind and think of others and be empathic and compassionate and just to seek to do good. Although we see a lot as well on the other side, where it's all negative, it's all criticism, it's all violent, it's all anger and impatience. That too could be very contagious. But I guess we just have to decide for ourselves on which side of contagion we will be on. And I have made a very prayerful choice to be on the side of good, of compassion, of kindness, of goodness, of thoughtfulness, of helpfulness. And hopefully, as we transcend this epidemic or this pandemic even, we will move towards that new normal of greater kindness, being much more probably compassionate, less judging, less condemning, less blaming. Not fearful, yes, fearful at times, but not fearful enough to put our lives on the line as well, but it's called for. So I would like to leave these particular thoughts to you right now, and just to ask yourselves, in what way probably you're actually affecting people around you or are being affected by people around you. I'd like to hear from you. I hope that, when you make your comments, you can ask your questions. I can pick them up on a later video that I would make and probably try to answer them. Just for now, thank you again for being with me. And I hope to have another moment like this with you. So in the meantime, take care of yourself. It's so important. Hug yourself for me. And God bless you. Bye for now.